updates from the National Capital Region, where daggers are out in Delhi, and the candidature of Kanhaiya Kumar and Udit Raj has sparked a war within the Delhi Congress. Now, before both the Congress leaders could even start their campaign, the party workers raised slogans against their candidature. Now, Congress sources revealed to CNN News18 that party's internal survey suggested that Rajkumar Chauhan would be a better candidate from Northwest, but Udit Raj was given the ticket instead. Now, apart from that, Kanhaiya Kumar is also being seen as an outsider by the party workers. Furthermore, in a meeting at Delhi in charge Deepak Babriya's residence, Kanhaiya Kumar and Sandeep Dixit had a verbal spat. Now, Sandeep Dixit alleged that due to the candidature of Kanhaiya Kumar, Congress performances is also getting affected in the other regions of Delhi as well.
पहला सवाल जो है, अभी आप जो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कर रहे थे तो लगातार नारेबाजी हो रही है और ये भी कहा जा रहा है कि बाहरी लोगों को उतार दिया।
ये बीजेपी के एजेंट हैं, इनका मानसिक दिवालियापन है कि 2014 से लेकर 19 तक मैं एमपी था, मैं बाहरी कहाँ हो गया। इसके मतलब कि 80% 70% जनता बाहरी है। इनका मानसिक दिवालियापन है, ये तो सब झूठा बेकार की बात है।
Well, CNN News18's Shivani Gupta spoke with Congress's Shashi Tharoor, candidate from Trivandrum, on the triangular contest between the BJP, Congress and left in the constituency. Let's listen in.
Tell me one thing, I'm going to just dive in. Would you concede this is one of the toughest fights you have fought from Trivandrum? This is your 4th straight election.
You know, my toughest fight was 2014. There was a Modi wave. There was a lot of nasty personal attacks on me during that election campaign following the passing away of my wife. And it was a really tough one. In fact, the result was also very close. 2019 wasn't as tough, and I ended up with a very convincing win, which was an even better margin than I expected. And I must say that 2024 looks much more like 2019 than like 2014.
That's a big statement you're making, because this is, as you conceded recently, the strongest seat of the BJP in Kerala, and they're putting all their might. Your opponent is Rajiv Chandrasekhar.
That's right. So the BJP really doesn't have too many constituencies where they even have a chance. Thiruvananthapuram is the only constituency where they've come second twice in a row. And therefore, obviously, they hope that they can turn that second into a better result at some point. And they've put their best foot forward. As I've been joking, they've been campaigning expensively while I've been campaigning extensively. But I'm not sure the result is going to be what they hope.
You seem very confident.
Yeah.
What is the reason for that confidence?
Well, first of all, because I've been around every nick and corner of the constituency, and I've seen the affection of people, the smiles, the waves, the reactions, which I've now begun to decode over the years. And on top of that, all the journalists who've been interviewing me and who've been around and seen other candidates' campaigns and talked to people have all unanimously, without any exception, told me that they think this is a slam dunk for me.
You want to trust the media and the journalists? They've got it wrong many times.
What they tell you privately is usually more accurate than what they're willing to say publicly.
Right. But in some ways, are you happy that Rajiv Chandrasekhar is your opponent? Because, you know, both of you are like non-politician politicians. He's a technocrat, you're a former diplomat. But yet, it's been a little bit nasty, your fight with each other.
I've been a bit disappointed by some of the stuff. I mean, for somebody who's barely set foot in Trivandrum in the last 15 years, to come and grandly say this man has done nothing and I will perform, that was a bit irritating to hear, because the fact is that Trivandrum is unrecognizable in the last 15 years, and much of that attributed to issues in which I took a personal, active initiative. And people know that I've just come from a session with the Trivandrum Chamber of Commerce and Industry, where just talking about the various issues that they care about that I've been involved in many cases that I've delivered, was enough to remind them and remind me of how much the city has been transformed, not just during my MPship, but because of initiatives I've undertaken.
I said nastiness because you face a complaint of running a false campaign against Rajiv Chandrasekhar because of some of the allegations that were purported to you. I mean, and he's facing a case filed by a Congress worker over his affidavit as well. So it's become pretty legal.
These are different issues. Number one, in terms of what I said, I never used his name or his party's name. A journalist said, you know, one's hearing about all of these this money being spent in the coastal belt to influence voters. And I said, I've heard the same thing, which I had. And this became an issue that and the Election Commission authority here took the view that any reasonable person would assume this was a reference to him, even though he was not named. Now he's gone and filed a defamation case in both Delhi and Kerala, I understand. So one will contest it because this has been widely talked about, and there are people who have spoken on the record about it. So for me to have heard it, others would have heard it too on television. So all I confirm is I've heard it too. I particularly said no one has said it to me directly. No one has tried to give me any money to vote for BJP. But I've heard it too, is all I said. And that's suddenly become my false campaign. It was not a campaign, it was an answer to a media question in one interview, never said it before or since. And one can produce the tapes of people who've said this on TV in Malayalam and in other places, in press conferences and so on. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm somebody who's always respected the law, always respected the standards of civilized politics, and I'm very happy to defend any case that may come before the courts.